Hello, welcome to day one of glass. There's some things that you're going to need every day when you're working with glass. First, you're going to need your glass cutters. You're going to need an oil cup, a brush so that you can brush off your desk away from you so that you don't get shards of glass all over you. Probably typically need some of these pliers called Grosing pliers. Today we're going to use 2 pairs of them at the same time. I'll show you that later. And then we're going to be working with, of course, you should have a piece of glass like that, and then one of these handouts. I'm going to show you how to work with these things. First things first, though, is you need to understand how to properly hold your glass cutters. I know this is weird. It's like, how am I ever going to cut through glass with this? But I'll show you how. And you need to know how to properly handle them. So first things first is you want to get it into your dominant hand. I'm right-handed, so I'm going to hold my my glass cutters in my dominant hand. And this nice area right here, well, that's a perfect little spot for me to just put my thumb right there. And I just kind of hold it almost like I'm going golfing, or yeah, just like I'm golfing, okay? Now I don't have my finger out here. That's wrong. You just keep it tucked in there, okay? Now there's some teeth on here. 1, 2, 3. We call these the teeth. What you want to do is, once you're holding it like that, you hold your other hand, it wraps around it, kind of like you're playing volleyball for you volleyball players, or again, if you're playing golf. And then I want my thumb to just kind of rest on that first tooth. Not over here, okay, just this tooth right here. I just want to kind of feel it with my thumb, with my other one, okay? And then that's the way to do it, that's the way to hold it. When I'm about to cut glass, I want to make sure that I hold my glass cutters at a 45-degree angle. Okay, so you can't see it from this camera angle, but I'm going to hold it. I'm not going to hold it straight up and down like this. I'm not going to hold it flat. I'm going to hold it at an angle. Okay, and then I also want to crouch down in front of this so that I can see the little wheel popping through the front. So if I hold my glass cutters way out here, I can't see the wheel, and then I don't know where I'm cutting. So I call this the constipated golfer's position, when you're crouched over a little bit so you can see the wheel popping out. Okay. So that's the proper way to hold your glass cutters. Now let's just get into this. So I'd like you to get this out in front of you. Okay. And I want you to take your piece of glass and set it onto your piece of paper. Make sure that this is closest to you, this side. Okay. Check with your table mates and make sure that they've got their papers correct. And I would like you to set your glass down, your edge against the edge of this paper. Long way. Hot dog. It should look like hot dog. It shouldn't be like this. I don't want that. I want it like this. So this edge should be lined up with the paper, and then your bottom edge should just be touching those 2 bottom little lines right here, because we're going to cut those. Okay. So it's in my dominant hand. My glass cutters are in my dominant hand, and then I just need to oil my wheel real quick. Little wheel on there so that it slides easily across the glass. Some people douse this thing in oil. And you don't need to do that. Just roll the wheel in oil and you're good. Okay. So I'm going to get into the correct position. And what I'm going to do is, I'm not going to start at the very, very edge of this glass. I'm just going to start in about a 1/4 inch. And I'm going to just kind of put a little pressure on this, some even pressure. I'm literally just going to use my own body weight and glide this wheel up this straight line right here. And you'll know that you're creating a score line because you'll hear some popping sounds. You'll know you'll be actually scratching the glass because you'll hear it start to make a little bit of a pop sound. And big thing you need to know is, this is not a Tonka truck. You do not go a bunch of times like that. You basically get 1 shot. So you want to score this whole line from end all the way to the other end. I don't want to go halfway, because then I'm going to confuse my glass and it's going to be like, where should I break? You want to go all the way. So let's start one. I'm going to ease into this and just glide right along. Try and lift up by the end so that your wheel doesn't clunk down on the table, because you don't want to damage your wheel. Okay? You can actually hear it. There is glass popping off of this. And so, as you can see, you created a nice score line, and already there's shards of glass popping off. So I want you guys to be careful. Now you can try to break this with your hand. So what we do is to cut a straight line like that, you can actually break it with your hand. And the position that you want to keep your hands in is as if you're like starting a car engine. You're grabbing your keys and you're going to like kind of pry down. So I don't want to keep my hands anywhere near this score line because I don't want to cut myself. I want to keep my thumbs away from it. And then I just kind of pry down like I'm starting a car, and let's see if I could do it. Not gonna happen, but that's okay. I will come. You can try to do this yourself, and yeah, it's not working for me today. But I will come around and help you break this straight line if you can't break it already with your bare hands. The next thing we're going to do, I'm actually going to sweep any pieces of shards off here, sweep away from myself. I would like you to take that small piece and lay it back on that line. Okay, and I'm going to practice scoring a straight line again. Okay, now this time, the shards of glass are literally popping off of the surface. Okay, I've got a new score line. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these Grosing pliers. Take a look at them. There's one side that's flat and one side that's curved. And I want you to keep the flat side up when you're doing this. Okay, I want you to grip like the glass like in the middle. Okay, not here, not here. I want you to grip it in the middle. And then I'm going to do the same thing to the side, and flat side up. And these pliers should be like they're on their second day and they're about to kiss each other. They're right in front of each other, ready to go. And then you just pry down, kind of like your chicken. Nah, yeah, like let's go back to that engine thing. Like you're about to rev an engine on a motorcycle. There you go. Okay. And what you can do now is you could practice a bunch of tiny little cuts. Teeny little score line, do you see that? But that's enough to tell the glass where to break. And again, I'm going to do it like I'm revving an engine. Boom. Okay. Now what I would like you to do is I want you to score a teeny tiny piece just about a 1/4 inch away from the edge of the paper, or the edge of the glass. Just like that. Okay. And to get this off, you can put the glass into the tooth just like that, and you just pry down. Do it again. Okay, you want to keep your score line up. Lines on that side, facing up. You insert your glass into the tooth and you pry down. Don't pry up. See, bad things happen that way. Just pry down. Just like that. You get these teeny little pieces. Alright. Just sweep my glass, sweep my paper. Take this now, I'm going to line up the edge with this curved line right there, okay? And it's been a little while since I've oiled my cutters, so I'm just going to roll my oil in them. Like I said before, do not over-oil this because I've literally seen students put so much oil on it that they go to do a line, and they're like, cool, I scored my glass, and there's a line of oil, not an actual score line. They're like, see, no, and then I rub it and the oil goes away. So this is a little careful. You kind of have to rock your hands a little bit, but I'm holding my glass cutters correctly. I can see, I really need to pay attention to my wheel now, especially because I'm doing a curved line, so you want to be as exact as possible. Start about a 1/4 inch away from the edge of the glass. Okay. Here we go. You can see that score line. You can also probably see and hear some of the glass popping off of it. Now, for curved lines, we have to kind of put some stress along this score line, okay? What's gonna happen is I need to hold my glass cutters a different way. So I'm not holding like this anymore. I'm actually going to grab the head of the glass cutters in my dominant hand, preferably the teeth facing away from you. Okay, the teeth are facing away from me, just like this. And again, I have like my key engine hold, and I want to pretend like I'm doing my air guitar, and I'm just jiggling this around, okay? Just like that. You do not need to do this. You actually want this to be very loose and jiggly. And what's going to happen is I'm going to tap from underneath this score line. I'm not going to tap over here. That's not going to do anything. I'm not going to tap over here. I'm going to tap all the way underneath the score line, a little bit at a time. What's going to happen is you're going to hear a really high-pitched cracking sound, and then it's going to deepen as you get more and more of a crack in your glass. Okay, so I'll start this. Okay, you already heard that. And you start to see it's starting to cut more. And it's already sounding lower, so I want to lower my glass a little bit more because I don't want to hold it up here. First of all, I never want to do that. I want to hold it lower because this is about to pop off, and I don't want it to crash and then break. There we go. Okay. I'll do it again. Okay. You can take that piece that I just did and line it up like that. And try this again, in case it didn't go good the first time. I'd rather hold it right there. That seems safer to me. And alright, we got some cool stuff to play with. No, don't play with it. Just kidding. Alright. I would love for you to do now, as I'd like you to. By the way, look at all the glass shards that just came off of this piece of paper that I worked on and that I've collected. Look at that. That is a lot. Sweep that away from yourself. Do not sweep it onto the person sitting in front of you. Just get it away from everybody. Do not sweep it onto your feet. That's just dumb. Alright, I'm going to get this box in front of me, and I want to place the corner of this piece of glass in the corner of that square. Okay. Going to oil up again. Alright, and I'm just gonna kind of cut this square out, alright? So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna go first from end to end this way. Here's a really good place for me to try and break it with my hands. Key engine, pry it down. Come on, baby. Nope, still didn't do it. Alright, and I'll put it to this side. I'll try one last time. I really want to redeem myself. Nope, don't want to hurt my hands. I think I could do this in one shot. Ready? 1, 2, done. I'm going to do the circle. I'm going to get rid of any shards. You don't want to ever set your glass down and let there be shards underneath where you're putting your glass, because that is just, oh, it sounds awful, and it is awful, and it's not good for the glass. Okay, so it's pretty hard for me to turn my whole body around this thing and try to score out this whole circle. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just do half at a time, and I'm going to like kind of rotate my body and even like my feet as I'm doing this, so I can make sure I can get a whole half circle. So just do the circle half at a time. So you did half of it. Alright, and then I can kind of turn it over and do the other half. I'm going to oil up again.